Alright guys, welcome back to Raw Doing Stuff. So I have a 3-pound chuck roast here today, and we're going to make some pulled beef sandwiches. I've never made pulled beef sandwiches before, but I've got a pretty good idea of how I want it to turn out. So this is going to be good. We're just going to season it, go easy today with some of this Montreal steak seasoning. So just real light. This thing doesn't need any trimming. You can see it's got a lot of marbling in it. That fat's going to render down. It's going to make this thing really good. Usually I just use salt and pepper on my beef. Today I decided to switch it up a little. Just use some, we need a big end. You just switch it up a little. Use a little of this Montreal steak seasoning. I really like it on steaks. And I've done it this way before with a chuck roast that I wasn't using for pulled beef, and I really liked it. So that's what we're going with today. We're going to make some sandwiches out of this. And that's all it's going to take. That's all we need to do to this. Nice, easy, simple, and it's going to taste great. So we're going to get this on the smoker and stick around. We'll show you how we get it to pulled beef perfection. Alright guys, so we're just using some competition blend pellets today. I use those on a lot of my beef and a lot of stuff just because it keeps you from having to switch out the pellets all the time, and there's not a huge difference in flavor. Maybe a little bit, but not a lot. Most people can't tell the difference. So anyway, I'm going to put this in here right up on this top rack. Get it as indirect from that heat as possible. We're going to get this fat to render down. We're smoking it at 225 today, and we're going to smoke it until it gets to an internal temp of about 160, and then we're going to go ahead and get it wrapped up, and we're going to let it go until it gets to about 195 to 205, to where that beef will just pull apart. So we'll be back in a few hours when we hit 160, and we'll be ready to wrap this thing up. Alright guys, our chuck roast has hit 165. So I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to wrap this up in some foil because that's going to break that fat down and get it nice and tender so we can shred it up. We're going to lay these onions out here. I'm going to set our chuck roast right on top of these onions because that's going to give it some moisture and give it some more flavor. These onions will be good on a sandwich when we're done. We're going to just take a look here. Oh yeah, look at that. That's looking good. Looky there. Lay that right on there. Double wrap that thing. It's going to go right back on the smoker. Shut it down because it's cold out here. We don't want to lose too much heat. We're going to turn it up to 250 degrees. And we're just going to let that smoke. That's going to break that fat down. It's going to braise that roast down where it's just so tender that it'll fall right apart. Get our heat probe back in there and then probe it to the top. Alright. We're ready to roll. Alright guys, our meat's hit 202 degrees. This probe slides in and out like butter. So it's time to get this thing off here. Now it's going to be a few hours before we eat. So I'm going to take this and wrap it up in a towel. And I'm going to put it in a cooler, and I'm going to let it rest for probably an hour, 2 hours, and then we'll pull it open, pull it apart, and we'll eat it. Alright guys, welcome back. This thing's been resting for about 2.5 hours. I've had it wrapped up in a towel. still hot in here. I'm gonna get it unwrapped. See what we got here. Oh yeah. I better bring this up there and let you take a look. Look at that. Let's see. Let's see how this pulls apart. Oh yeah, just tender as can be. Look at that. I gotta get me a taste of that. Oh man. That's unbelievable, guys. Let's check out these onions we got under here. Oh yeah. Look at those onions. I better have some meat with one of these onions here. Then I better get this inside before I eat it all, because it is delicious. Oh man. It smells so good. The flavor, the beef flavor coming through on that is awesome, and it's so tender. Look at that. Just pulls apart. It's gonna make some fine sandwiches there. We're gonna get this inside, pull it apart, and make some sandwiches. Let me show you this. And look at that. It's moist. It's got a nice smoke ring. That Montreal steak seasoning. Oh, so good. You got to get you some of this. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up and a like, and we'll see you on the next one.